Taurus, welcome to your mid-June 2021 General Tarot Update. It's raining here. I'm just looking at that sage. It's really going at it. I'm getting a contact high from it. Okay, I can't tell by looking through my phone if this is going to be a weird light, but it is what it is, obviously. And I got some more cards here. So, what is the big event coming on the horizon? It's actually not technically mid-month, but it's on the 10th. And that is the solar eclipse in Gemini during a Mercury retrograde, no less. So, one step forward, two steps back. I mean, when I say steps back, I'm merely speaking about in your mind, you may be thinking about something that you want to do that has a financial connotation to it. And yet there are opportunities that may present themselves that are very unexpected. This is a shakeup to your financial sector, but it can be a welcome change. There can be positive developments, perhaps. So embrace this solar eclipse. This is a powerful new moon. So it's just that you may be rethinking your finances, and that's the perfect time for you to have these blessings come up for you, because you might be more inclined to accept them. So let us see. So I would say, especially if you're a Taurus person who makes a lot of money, but you're not happy and you're given this offer that is in an area that you're very interested in, but you are still, in that mode of yeah, but, how does it shake out financially? To really ponder this deeply, because Mercury retrograde in the second house, this can be about your values and what is very important to you. And this may be something that gives you riches that makes your life feel rich in meaningful ways. Whoa, there's the sun. Interesting. We have a couple of major arcana cards here. We got a couple of kings, which is also interesting. Because to me, besides the king can represent the father, it can represent the authority figure that you're dealing with, a spouse, or a significant other, especially male. But we have one that's the King of Swords and one is the King of Cups, and the difference is that there is with the swords, there's this sense of being closed off emotionally, and with the cups, being very open emotionally. So yeah, the other thing I was going to say is that the king can be the highest expression of yourself, of the self-empowered version of yourself. With the King of Swords, it can be the utmost discernment and coming from a self-empowered place. So I could see the King of Swords as a decision. Now, this could be a judge. I mean, you have the Judgment card. You could be awaiting this legal verdict. And maybe your life, you feel like your life is hanging on whatever this decision is. like, let's say, waiting to get divorced. I had to pause this recording and put out that sage. It was getting to be overwhelming. But it doesn't have to be just a divorce. I mean, anything. But the thing is, it's kind of an illusion, because you may be framing whatever this situation is as like, okay, and then after this happens, my life is going to begin. When in fact, you're still going to have to face life and all its challenges regardless, because a lot of times we blame certain situations for causing us not to feel like we're happy, or we don't feel free, and when such and such happens, then we'll be free. So it's kind of an illusion, but there might be a grain of truth in it. So you might feel like you have to be this person that put your feelings aside to deal with a decision that you need to make. In the past position, we have the Five of Wands. This is a card of conflict, of maybe bickering. This can be a situation, you see there are multiple hands in this. So, it can indicate that even if like this is a couple that has a lot of problems with fighting per se, that a lot of that has to do with, that could have also things to do with other people involved. So in-laws who are stirring things up, who are not being very supportive, who are actually trying to, split the couple up. Friends who are not really friends, who are planting doubt in either party's mind, and maybe feeling jealous about that person having a relationship, and so they're trying to create doubt that person's relationship is really good. And, of course, that's not a good thing to do. The higher message is the Sun card. This is a card that indicates what is possible for you. So, we can see those two cards, and neither one of them on the top row is very, to me, a very like emotionally warm situation. The King of Swords at best is very intelligent, but could be very cut off from his feelings. The Five of Wands can be a combative energy. Even though it is fire like the sun, it is, full of drama. And the sun represents all types of positive things, be it love, be it joy. And those two things have to go together, don't they? If you love someone and you don't have joy when you're dealing with them, but you still love them, it indicates a painful situation. So it certainly is not going to be very pleasant to be in a situation where you love somebody that there is constant fighting. You're going to feel like you can't see eye to eye, even though you might try more than anything. But the bottom line to me, Taurus, is that the sun represents your own ability to, potential for love. That is something that is there waiting for you. So if you find that you are in constant conflict with someone, ask yourself, is this the best that life has to offer? What crosses you is the Ace of Swords. You may be in denial over this. You may be confused over this. Even in the upright position, if this is the other person, the King of Swords, they may be somebody who doesn't tell you that they love you. And I'm not saying that that indicates somebody who's abusive or anything like that, but certainly it can make the other party feel like they don't know where they truly stand, where they may feel the sense of like perhaps the other person doesn't really care that much. And it's not to say that the other person doesn't. Some people just have a hard time articulating that. And the King of Swords is in the upright position. So if this is that other person, I'm not saying that they are a bad person or they're trying to do something to you. It could simply be that they don't know how else to act. And they could be divorced from their feelings. And that is creating a lot of friction because maybe they are insensitive in certain respects. But you have to be able to see exactly what is going on. And your feelings may be coloring, how your mental clarity is. And also, this is a card of moving forward, and you might find it hard to do so. What is coming in, this could be advice, is the King of Cups. This is a card of attracting someone who is caring. Actually, to talk about the King of Swords versus the King of Cups, this would be a partner who might be a water sign. I was going to say Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, which is much more compatible with you overall if we compare sun signs to the air signs that the King of Swords represents: Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. And this is primarily because of elements and how they cooperate with one another, and there is a cooperation between the element of earth and water. And it also, when I say complement, it's really that it gives you what you don't have. Water nourishes the earth, so it makes it, and earth, you could say, can absorb excess water. So if you're with somebody who's an earth sign, they may benefit from you being more level-headed and detached because they might tend to be too emotional. You can ground them a lot of times. But the other thing too is this might be that you are seeking counseling. King of Cups can be a counselor. This can be a situation where you are opening up emotionally. Maybe fights were caused that had something to do with you, that you were not opening up to another person and they were not feeling that you were caring. And perhaps with the Sun card, there is love there. And the outcome is the Judgment card. The Judgment card, I was talking about a legal decision, could be a literal decision that is being rendered on a matter that you have been eagerly awaiting. If so, the King of Cups could suggest that the judge is going to be somebody who is sympathetic to you. So it might bode well for you. The Judgment card is in the upright position, so maybe you will be successful in this. It could mean that one of the main things about the Judgment card is that it's cause and effect. So if you think about life, there is cause and effect in the universe. And people like to personalize situations like, oh, this is happening, that is happening, but they're not looking at how they contributed to that situation with their behavior. All they can focus on is, I just got divorced. Well, did you open up to that person? Could it have been that you were too guarded? I was thinking of, a Taurus person with the moon in Scorpio. Perfect example. Being able to have that kind of ability to reflect on what has happened and look at your role in it is so valuable. So often a person will speak about their relationship to another person and focus on what that person did that was negative to them. And I'm not saying that there are not cases where the other person clearly was abusive or neglectful in the relationship. But even though it might give you a lot of sympathy to be able to, tick off all these things, it's also good to look at it from the sweeping perspective of even at the beginning, because a judgment card can be also about using your judgment. I just realized that I have my sofa cushion in the background. It's like, you probably think I'm crazy, don't you? But I oh well. Anyway, I hope that's not too distracting. But yeah, a lot of people look at life that way instead of thinking, did I go into this with my eyes wide open, or was I not seeing some red flags here? And what can I do next time to ensure that that doesn't happen? So it's like taking responsibility for your piece in whatever has gone on, and not just, saying that it's the other person. Now, I'm not saying it isn't the other person at all, but just in terms of how that impacts the relationship as a whole, because it does take two, no matter what we're dealing with. So I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope that you enjoyed this and resonated with it, Taurus. If you would like a private reading, I do mostly astrological readings. I do have a reading called The Whole Enchilada, where I combine natal chart interpretation with a full-length tarot reading. There are 2 full-length readings for a special price. You can find out about that and my other readings at the link below. Thanks for listening. Take care.